Hey, what up guys? This is Paul and this is another Common Touch of Fantasy review. Today's review is Gardens of the Moon by Erikson. Book 1 of the Malazan series. So Gardens of the Moon by Erikson is a high epic fantasy that follows multiple point-of-view characters and plot lines that converge in the end to tell a large, overarching story. Okay, so why should you read this book? Number one, it's a high fantasy setting with a lot of use of magic. Almost every character has some ability that they excel at. Number two, it has intricate world building that is on another level compared to most fantasy authors. The author created this entire world and this entire history of this world just to write this book. Another reason why you should read this, there's a lot of unexplained mysterious elements going on in this book, and if you're a reader that enjoys that type of thing, a book that you have to figure out why you're reading it, then you're going to enjoy this. It also has a cast of characters that all have their own ambitions and desires without putting people into camps that are good and evil only. And the last reason you should read this book, Active Gods. Can't go wrong with a well-written Active God book. Why might you not want to read this book? Well, a lot of the things I just said for the pros could be turned around and be viewed as a negative. Now, some readers might not want a ton of magic. Lately, a lot of the more popular fantasy series has a low magic world, and so some people that are used to having that and going back to like a really high fantasy world with a lot of magic, they might not like that. Another negative that people might have with this book is that there's not a whole lot of direction in the narrative. It's more of people figuring out. I think that's a positive thing, but for some people, they might not like that. In fact, there's not a lot of proper introductions in this book. It can really throw some readers off. Because of that, some readers might have a hard time connecting to the characters and actually care about what they're doing and who they are. Okay, so what's similar to Malazan? Imagine Game of Thrones on crack, dropped into the middle of the narrative of Game of Thrones without you knowing anything, and making everyone into either a Dragon Ball Z or a Bleach character, but in a serious way. Also, if you like those movies where a bunch of different characters, like a dozen characters, are not connected at the beginning and at the end they all come together and are connected in some way. If you like those type of movies and those type of books, you probably would like this as well. You know, I recommend Gardens of the Moon for people that really love world building, even above other aspects of fantasy. Readers that enjoy stories with multiple threads that come together, and readers that just kind of want to figure things out for their own. So, what is Gardens of the Moon really about? Gardens of the Moon is about this large empire called the Malazan Empire. It is continuing to conquer lands all across the world, and they're on this land called Bacchus. And the last free city, the Rujistan, is on this continent, and the Malazan Empire wants that last free city. Now, the empire itself has a lot of cracks in it. Not everyone gets along. There's some people within the army that basically want to revolt against the empire. There's some that are just kind of loyal to each other, and then there's some that are actually loyal to the empire still. The Rujistan itself has a lot of different problems and conflicts. There's a mage cabal and a assassin guild and like a councilman of nobles, and they're all vying for power within this one city. So when the Malazan Empire wants to destroy the Rujistan, a lot of the people within the Rujistan itself even look to the Malazan Empire as something good because they're going to profit out of it. So there's like a bunch of gods and immortals that want to be involved in this conflict because they want to gain something out of it, or they don't want other people to gain something. So all these different characters from different parts of the world all verge on Rujistan. They come in contact with each other, and it's just a lot of fun. So what stands out in this book? The thing that stands out the most is the setting, the world building. Without a doubt, Erikson took a lot of time creating Malazan. It is a fully functional, fleshed out backstory history world that is just amazing. And with this book, it is just the tip of the iceberg. Erikson really put a lot of time and effort into creating an entirely new world. You know, some examples is that there's like 7 different kinds of races, all unique, all different, things that you never heard of in another fantasy book. There's like 20 different immortal or god beings. There's like a dozen different kinds of magic. In each city, there are multiple factions vying for that city. It's just amazing how detailed this world is. If you are a world-building nut, if you love setting in your fantasy books, this is the book for you. For me, like, I had to use the glossary so much and the character list so much. It's just a lot of fun. You kind of delve into this book. You just don't like kind of just read it naturally. You delve into it, and it is a lot of fun. If you enjoy things that you like to figure out, or things that are kind of mysterious in a way, you would really like this book. You know, I was really happy that we did a buddy read with this book. I enjoyed all of the conversations we had. Thank you, Caitlin, for putting together this group. I'm looking forward to the sequel. I really enjoyed this one, and this one's considered the weakest book out of the entire series, and I enjoyed it. I gave it a 4 out of 5. I mainly gave it a 4 out of 5 because I think it can be better. Maybe in the future, when I revisit my score, I might give it a 5. I'm not sure. But for right now, it's going to be a 4. I'm excited about continuing this series. I'm very glad that I picked this series for my series read-through for this year, like the big series read-through. I've already gotten all the books in the past year, so I'm very excited, and I'm looking forward to it greatly. Alright, so thank you for watching this. If you like this video, like it please. If you want to comment, go ahead and comment. Please subscribe to my channel. If there's something that I can do better, let me know, and I'll work on it. Thank you for watching. I hope to see you guys soon. Have a great weekend.